Get a piece of This is Mike, man. Testing, testing. Recording? Yes, it's recording. Let's start. Testing, testing. Welcome to the Fats Media Podcast. I'm your host, Seymour. And if you're one of those people that likes to tune out in the first 30 seconds when watching a video, this video is not for you. This video is for independent artists that want to learn about the business and want to learn and how to take control of their music and make more money with their music. All right. So in this episode, we're going to talk about you starting a music label. All right. So for you independent artists that want to start your own record label, all right, shouts out to you. You got your mind right. You are starting to think like a boss and you want to get control of your music. That's just what that means. All right. So it's going to be hard, but you're going to get it done. Here's a few things that you need to do to get your label off the ground. All right. So it's not that hard. It's not that hard as far as paperwork and all of that stuff. It may seem like it's hard, but it's not. All right. It takes a little bit of work, but it's not that hard. So here's how it goes. First, you have to come up with a name. All right. You can do this two ways. You can just register as an LLC. Again, this is not financial advice. This is not a lawyer advice. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just telling you things that I've done in the past. I've made a lot of mistakes. So I do, let me put a disclaimer out there. Talk to a lawyer, talk to an accountant, and get their take before you do anything. But here's what I did. I'm just going to tell you what I did. All right. This is story time. So what I did was I came up with a name. And because I was looking to hire, not hire, I'm sorry, looking to sign artists to my label. So it was completely different than you. You're an artist and you're creating a label for yourself. So you can do this two ways. You can do it like me, where you create it as a group or you create it as a label, something like MMG, Def Jam, Universal. You come up with a name and you name that and you LLC it. Okay. That means that you register it with your local state, or you can go, like if it's New York, you go to newyorkcity.gov on Google, search incorporating LLC. It'll pop up. Make sure it's a .gov website that you go to, because there's a lot of people that are making fake websites to make it look like it's a .gov website, and it's not. And they look to incorporate the business for you. Now, these people, technically, a lot of them, they're not really a scam. What they are is they're middlemen. They're getting a cut of the money, so they upcharge you. So to register your corporation here in New York, it's $175. So if you want to register LLC in a different state, like down south, it'd be like maybe $65, $50. What they do is they tack on a fee, a processing fee, and they file that paperwork for you. Basically, they take your money, take the information that you provided, they go over, they submit that through the .gov website, and then you receive the paperwork. Sometimes they receive the paperwork, and then they'll ship it to you in their name. And then they're getting a cut for that. All right. So that's all it is. You can go directly to the city and file that paperwork. But if you feel like you need some help, talk to a lawyer. Like I said, you can go to online websites where they file the paperwork for you, ask you a few questions, they file it for you, but they really upcharge you. You can go somewhere like LegalZoom or something like that. And there's some other sites up there. I used LegalZoom many, many years ago. That was for a different corporation. But yeah, so what you want to do is you come up with a name, make sure that it's available. So you go to your search to trademark. So you go to trademark search, you go to Google, search trademark search, and then it'll come up a website where you can look up a basic search and a trademark website, and you can look it up. And you look up different variations of that name. All right. I made this mistake where I thought that a name was available, and then I put an S on it, and somebody had already trademarked it with an S. All right. So try to do things like that just in case the name that you come up with is a little too common. It's most likely that it's trademarked already. But the good thing is trademarks die, meaning that people trademark something and they don't renew it. So then you have the opportunity to go and trademark it. So make sure when you search the trademark, it'll say dead or it'll say alive. You can click on it. You can see who owns it, their name, their state, all of that stuff. All right. That's one way to check if a name is available. One really good way that you should always check is trademark search. After that, check if the domain is available. Look up the same name of that record label, right.com. But then, like I said, check variations. Somebody might not have a .com because they were being cheap, because you can get a .com for $15 for the year. But if you say .co or .biz or .store, you'll get it for $1 for the year, for the first year. And you get the second year for $15. So you get 2 years for $16. So to save money, they went and did that. And they basically have that name. And if it involves music as well, then you're really screwed because you're coming up with a record label and then you look up .com, you see that it's available, but you don't realize that somebody already has a record label named it .biz. All right. So that's another way that you can check. All right. On the website front. After the website front, you have to check social medias. So go to TikTok, Instagram. Those are the main ones. Go to Facebook. Check. Just search it, see if it pops up. Go under accounts. When you search, has top and it says accounts. Click on accounts, scroll through that, and check if there are any labels that'll just say the name or say records in front of it or say music group in front of it or music in front of it. Check if it's a label, right? And then click on the link. Check on when you click on their page, check on their bio right there and see if they have a link, a website link, and check that out to see if it's a record label with your name on it. All right. The last way to check, all right? Last way. Go to bandcamp.com, go to soundcloud.com, or go to Spotify. All right. Those are the main ones that I go to. Go to those, write the name of the record label, see if anything pops up. Any albums released under that record label name, check that out because that can be a really big issue for you if your business blows up. But they release music under that name before you, and then they go and trademark it before you. Say you think the name is available, you go and do a LLC, but then you don't trademark it, and then they go and trademark it behind you. But they release something before you, they can win a lawsuit over that. There's not legal advice. It's possible that it could happen. Okay, so this happens if when you're looking up a name. All right, LLC. After you do that, when you know everything's available, make sure you lock down the names on social. Make sure you lock down the names on domain, meaning you own the website name. I stress this in a lot of episodes, and it's because I'm looking up artists all the time. I'm receiving submissions from artists every single day. And I click on their page and listen, the first thing I do is I click on the song that they send. I listen to the song, you're getting that stream, okay? Smart man. Send me that link directly to the streaming platform of your choice. I'm listening to it. I'm subscribed to most streaming platforms because I'm in music and I have to check them all up and I have to stay up to date on them. So you send me a link, I'm most likely going to listen to it because I'm subscribed to that platform, or I'll find it in the other platform, but I'm subscribed to most platforms. Click on that link and then I check for their domains. It's completely available. I can buy the website domain right from under them for $15 and then sell it back to them for $100. Then there's the social feed. They have Instagram, they have TikTok locked down. You check Snapchat, it's available. You check, what's the other one that's also always available? X. X is always available for some reason. Maybe people aren't just using X when it comes to starting their music careers, but please just lock down the name on every social platform. Even if you're not going to use it, just lock it down. Later, you can find someone that's going to repurpose, meaning it's going to take your post from Instagram and they're going to post it on X and they're going to post it on the other platforms for you. All right. You don't have to dedicate all the time to every single platform. It's just too much for you to be posting to every platform. You have to pick to 1, 2 platforms, maybe 3, but I would say 2 of the main platforms that you're posting to, and then you can spread it out and just sprinkle some to the other platforms. You got to build an initial fan base on a platform, see which one's doing the best, and then set some gas to it and accelerate that fire. All right. So that's the second thing you have to do. So now you have got the domain name down. You have the social media name down. You register with the local city. So you register your LLC or your S corp with your local city. Then you have to go to the IRS website and you get an EIN number. So you get an EIN number after you register the LLC. When you have the EIN number, this is the number you're going to use to open the bank account. Or you can convert your PayPal account to a business account and put that there as well. So you set that up and you got a label. Now you have a label. Everything's legit. You have everything registered. You have all the socials. You have everything done. Now, what I recommend doing after this, have your website made. If you already have an artist website, that's fine. When people go to your website for your record label, you can just redirect them to your artist website if you want to in the beginning, since you're the only artist and you don't mind when people go to your label website, it'll just be redirected. They click on it, takes them straight to your artist website. That's completely okay in the beginning, especially since you own the label anyway. All right. You have everything registered. Then the next thing is when you copyright your music, when you register your stuff, put it under your LLC. That's just another layer of protection. And your corporation owning your music, it's a very big deal. And if you make music and you register under yourself, you're going to get a lot more protection if you register under a corporation. Corporations get a lot more protection than regular human beings when it comes to courts. So that'll definitely help you out a lot more. Now, you definitely, when you start making real money, you're going to have to get an accountant. When you start making any money, you have to you have to get an accountant. And if you make very little money, your accountant, in certain cases, they can file your taxes once a year, just like you would do your personal taxes. And depending on the corporation, type of corporation you choose. Then there's other ways that they can file your taxes quarterly. That means every 3 months they'll file, and you will have to pay smaller portions to the government, depending on what your accountant marks down, and then you'll stay up to date. So make sure you stay up to date on your taxes. You don't want to make a ton of money and then you don't report any of it, and it's all going to a legal corporation, and then the IRS audits you, checks it out. There's all that money's going to your PayPal, to your bank account, and all that stuff is reported, especially when it passes $10,000. You have to report these things. And then when you get that money and you pay the IRS, then you can live like a regular civilian, obey law-abiding citizen, all right? And that's the way to do it. All right, so that is the first step of starting your record label. And here are some things that you can do after you own your record label to help you out in your business. So when you have a record label and your music is owned partly by the record label, when you're signing deals with let's say some other entity, if you want to sign to a major corporation, I'm going to give you an example. Rapper Fabio Foreign, he signed on to a deal with Mace, with rapper Mace, and Mace went up to the labels and got him the major deal. Now, Fabio was not happy about having to give a cut to Mace, saying that Mace was not involved in his, rising, and that he only got $5,000 when he first signed on to Mace. Now, here's the thing. Mace signed him to what's called a production deal. So a production deal is they're going to set you up. They're going to give you some money. You sign on. So now you're officially signed to their production company, which is just an LLC, like your LLC or S Corp. And then you guys go out and hit the road together. He puts you in the studio, records some music, then he connects his connections. So the production company is the one with the connections. That's why you sign to them. They're gonna get you discounts on studio time. They're gonna pay for studio time depending on what deal you have. They're gonna set up, if there's a festival coming, they're gonna call and say, hey, can my guys open for it? They're gonna get you looks, all right? After they get you a few looks and you have your name and there's a buzz happening, they're gonna go approach the labels on your behalf. They're going to say, hey, I'm going to get you this deal. I got an artist named Fabio Foreign. I'm going to get, and I'm going to get you in here. So the deal with Fabio was that he was not too happy with Mace getting the deal, but he thought that Mace was trying to snake him in some kind of way. But what Mace was trying to explain to him, which he said in the interview in the Gillian Wallow podcast, was I wasn't trying to snake him, was because I had the corporation, the production company corporation, own the rights to his music, then the label can't take it. You understand? So you have a corporation. Your corporation owns the rights to your music. So for the label to get a part of the rights to your music, they have to come with some sort of agreement. And now you have a little bit more leverage. So that was what Mace was saying. Mace was saying, hey, I have all the rights to his publishing. I have all the rights to this. And then the label can't grab it because the deal that the label's trying to go and slip past Mace and go directly to Fabio with is, hey, you could sign with us directly. We'll give you a 5-album deal. We'll give you $1 million. But they want, assuming this is what was assumed in the interview, was that Fabi did not have that much leverage. He's going to get a bigger piece of money, but you would have to give up parts that Mace is saying, hey, you want to keep this. This is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to protect you in this production deal. Now, he later explained that, yes, my corporation, my LLC, owned the publishing for Fabi's thing, but I still got Fabi $750,000. So I gave him the $5,000. I put him in the studio, put him in shows, got him buzzing, ran up to labels for him, got him a check for $750,000. Like 9 months later, after giving him the 9 months later, you got $750,000 more. And the publishing that I took, you're getting is going right back to you because I don't want your publishing. He said that and when you say that on camera, it's something that could be used against you if you ever go to court. So we know that most likely it's the truth. So That's the type of leverage that you'll get if you start a corporation and you basically sign yourself to your corporation, and then you're looking for a deal for, let's say, just distribution. They would have to sign that deal with, they can sign the deal directly with you, but if the label, if your label owns part of the music, then they can't get it. You know what I'm saying? They have the first right because they have the initial signature, you know? So there's stuff that you want to talk to with a lawyer, but this is also stuff that you can also look up when it doesn't involve signing any paperwork. You can definitely get well educated on this kind of stuff and check it out. Or if you're still looking for a single, if you want to release a single for free and get your feet wet, you haven't released any music yet, go to fatsdistrict.com. As you know, Fats Media Podcast. We have a platform built. There's a platform built for independent creators. And we have fatsmedia.com, which has a podcast that's on YouTube and on all the podcast networks. So subscribe and follow. If you want to be interviewed, email us at fatsmedia@gmail.com. Go to fatsmedia.com and there's a contact us section there. You can see all the episodes there. You can see all the videos there. Also, there's a blog roll there and it has all the stuff on there. Now, if you want a website design, go to indiesitekit.com. If you just want to do everything completely on your own. If you want to start your own record label, I know you're thinking about making a website and going direct to consumer to make that money too. indiesitekit.com will make that website for you and you'll get free revisions for a whole year, meaning they'll make the website, they'll set up the domain for you, they'll do everything for you. And then let's say you want to drop a single in 2 weeks, you contact indiesitekit.com, send them the information for the single, and then when it's time for launch or the day that you want to set up, it'll be up there, up and running, and you have a smooth website that's constantly changing and updating for your fans so they can keep coming back. All right. You can put locks on your website, meaning that people have to put in their email address to have access to your website, or they can get get access to your website through their phone number. They put their phone number, then they'll have access to your website. There's a great way to collect that information to be able to retarget and keep a good contact with your fan base. All right. So that's great if you want to have your own website. Of course, you can always go to sites like Wix. You can go if you want to pay it on a monthly basis. They upcharge you for every little thing. You have to build it out on your own. It can take hours. You can use their AI, which builds up the website for you. Wix has an AI that builds up the website for you, but it's going to take some work. You're going to take a few hours, which is completely okay. I'm doing this podcast to help independent creators. I'm mentioning a lot of stuff that we own and run, but I also want to give you the other side. So if you're selling merch, you can go to Shopify. If you want just an artist website, you can go to Wix, and they can do it for you. Shopify, you have to buy the theme. You can get the basic theme for free, and then it's going to be a lot more work to tune up that site. Another thing you can do is you can buy the domain, then you get the website made on Fiverr. You can pay Fiverr. Fiverr is cheaper, but then you get cheaper service. All right. So if you go to Fiverr, you get them to make the website. When it says that they give you 3 revisions, that means 3 revisions during the time period of that order. I mean, those 2 weeks or the 10 days that they say they're making that website for you, those are the only days that you have to make the revisions. As soon as you mark it that you have accepted the website's up. But then when you need any changes, you have to pay again. All right. So this is where Indie Site Kit wins. It charges you a little more, but you get the whole year and you get revisions for a whole year. Now, there's a special that we're putting up together where you're going to get 6 months of revisions for free. So this is great for people that have a release set up and they want to have a website dedicated to an album, or they want to just have a website and they're not going to make too many changes for 6 months, just going to add a single here and there, upload some videos, stuff like that. And this can work definitely for you. And it's going to be a super discounted rate, and it's going to be here on the podcast, announced on the podcast. So subscribe and follow. So that takes care of the stuff there when it comes to website building. Now you are starting a corporation, and let's say you want to do a deal with a private equity firm or someone to help you release your project. You want to sign with another label. All right. You don't want to go major. You want to sign with an independent label. This is where a SplitQuity works. SplitQuity.com. You can go there and it is a artist friendly label. It is 50-50, meaning you guys split it down the middle, 50-50. All profits from the project are split 50-50. You own the rights to your masters. You own the rights to all of your music. All of your music is registered to you. You're just splitting the profit. You create the music, you submit it because there has to be a submission process. They review the music. And if you want to release a single or you want to release an album, you'll be contacted if you're selected. It's explained to you, have a conversation. It's explained to you, hey, do you want to do release for a single, release for a full project? And this is what we can do for you. If you agree, there's some paperwork involved that is basically, hey, whatever we spend to promote, which is going to be approved by you, of course, we need to get that back through the streaming royalties. We'll get that back. And then as soon as we recoup, then it's 50-50 just for that project. And you're free to sign anywhere else, to release with anyone else, and do anything else you like to release future projects. Okay. But if you like how it works, then you can keep going and you just go project by project. So it's a project by project thing. It's meant to not lock down an artist. And it's a new way for artists to release music similar to private equity, where a private equity investor would come, listen to your music and say, hey, I want to invest in this project. And they put the money up for you to release the project, and they go 50-50 after they get their money back. Same thing, but it's not 50-50. A lot of times it could be 70-30, 60-40. It depends on the person that's putting up the money, how much money they're putting up. They're going to want a bigger cut. So 50-50 is a pretty good deal. So that's it. Now, if you want to release the music yourself, go to fatsdistrict.com. If you want to contact us and be on the podcast, or you want us to get more podcast news and information, go to fatsmedia.com. If you want a website design, go to indiesitekit.com. And if you want to get a partner to release your project, go to splitquity.com. And all the details are going to be in the description. And there's more stuff coming, but I appreciate you for watching. If you have any questions about starting your business or your record label, send me a message and I'll respond. I respond to all messages. You don't have to put in the comments section so everybody knows your business. If you want, you can. People can help each other out. I'm going to start a Facebook group. Sorry, not a Facebook group, a Discord group where everyone could go in there and help each other out. And when we have events, local events, we can support each other and show up. And this is going to be a great community for independent artists. Join us by subscribing and following and liking the video. All right. Appreciate you. Peace.